friends, my name is Ali. I am the owner and maker behind Ali Mackenzie Crafts, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I wanted to show off some of the things that I made for Christmas, particularly for my son and my husband. Most of the other items that I have made or am in the process of finishing have not been yet given to the intended recipients, so I can't show them off quite yet. I also have a few custom orders that I want to talk about and show you, as well as a yarn haul from ZaddyCrafts, my absolute favorite yarn. I love showing off my hauls from Zach from ZaddyCrafts. And I have a couple of safety eye related items I want to show off. So a little bit of a haul section to the video as well. I'm currently filming this on Wednesday, December 31st. So it is New Year's Eve. So happy New Year to everyone watching this. I'm hoping this video will be posted early in the new year. And so I am in sort of that state where I'm thinking about my past year, considering everything that I accomplished and everything that I would like to accomplish with my business going forward as I enter into 2026 for Ali Mackenzie Crafts and what that looks like for me. I am planning to do a video a little bit more around my goals and what happened in 2025 and what I'd like to leave in 2025 and what I'd like to set forth as goals for 2026. So I will plan to do that in a future video. But for today's video, I just want to show off some of my recent makes and do these hauls. If this kind of content, as well as market content, weekly vlogs, weekly makes, pattern roundups, things like that, I have a lot of plans for 2026. So if any of this kind of content seems interesting to you and you're not already one of my subscribers, I'd love for you to join me on this journey. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and so any new subscription would really help me towards that goal. I'm hoping to reach it early in the new year, and I am planning to have a better cadence for my videos. I'm hoping for weekly so that you all can depend on a regular day for me to upload videos, and I am hoping to have more of an actual content structure to my video posting. So if you're interested in any of the content that I talked about, please hit that subscribe button. It would really help me as I continue on this journey. But for now, let's hop into some of my recent makes. So the first thing I want to do is just share a couple clips from my most recent custom orders. In my last sort of sit down video that wasn't a market vlog, I showed off the okapi that I had for a custom order, and then I received 2 additional custom orders for the holiday season. The first one I received at my market that I had at the garden center early in the season. It was the first one of like the 4 or 5 back-to-back that I had. And so I had that order sitting kind of on my roster for a little bit. I did let her know I had a lot of markets coming up and it would be closer to Christmas that I finished it. So I finished it, I think, the week before Christmas, and I did record a few clips showing off those makes. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to past Ali to talk about that custom order. Hello friends, I am just hopping on to record a quick clip, and it does need to be quick because I need to head out the door, but I have a couple things that I'm handling today. The first thing is I have another custom order that I need to deliver to the recipient, and so I am going to show you those items. And then the second thing is I'm going to restock my shop space at the merchant house today. I wanted to make more items. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make as many as I wanted to because I had jury duty at the beginning of this week, and it honestly ate up entire days of time and also my energy, and I needed to go to bed early several nights in a row to be able to get up. So I lost some crochet time this week, so I'm not able to take over as much as I wanted to have in the shop for last minute Christmas shopping, but it is what it is. I'm just going to choose to be kind and gentle with myself and happy that I'm taking over more stock at all. So I'm going to show you the custom order, and then I will show you the couple items I'm taking to the shop. And of course, I will take you along with me to the shop later as well. So I received this custom order at one of my shows. It was actually the first Christmas market I had this season at the farm, Ashcombe Farm. And one of the women that was helping her friend, who was a vendor that was kind of catty-corner to me saw my work and asked about a few items and decided ultimately that she wanted to do a custom order for all 3 of her grandchildren, and so she picked an item for each of them that she wanted me to create. The first thing she saw on my table were the Dee Dee's Plushies tarantulas, but it was the one that I do in ZaddyCrafts, so it's smaller, and she wanted a bigger one for her grandson, who has been asking his dad for an actual tarantula, and so she thought this would be a good opportunity to provide him with something that was close enough to having the actual pet. So she ordered a black tarantula. I made this in demi pearl from Michael's Loops and Threads, and the fur that I used for the front fangs is the new fur yarn that I got from Knotted Cat. So I absolutely love it. I mean, it's obviously just a small detail, but so far the detail work that I've used it for has been amazing. It's not let me down. It works so well. I love it. So yeah, this guy came out palm sized, and again, I do have big hands. I'm very tall, so yeah, he's cute. I love him. So this is the tarantula. She wanted a black one for her grandson. And then I think this is for another grandson, but nonetheless for another grandchild, she wanted a hedgehog. And those of you who are crocheters know how much work hedgehogs take. So I was happy to make this, but I did warn her that it's going to come out to a size that's a little bit smaller, but still have a hefty price tag on it. And I did try to keep it fair. I did underprice it a little bit because she has been so kind, and I appreciated this order from her, and it was fun to work with a new pattern. So this is the hedgehog I created. It is from Crochet Calls. Each, again, if you've made any hedgehogs, you know that each individual piece of the hedgehogs, for whatever it's called, is individually made. So each one is a chain that you work back into, and there are a lot of them. So he did take several hours, but I think he's so adorable. I absolutely love him. So yeah, and he did come out a decent size. I mean, he's, again, palm sized. He's bigger than the spider by a little bit even. The spider I'm selling to her for $18, and I'm selling the hedgehog for $28. Again, he did take more time. I probably should charge a little more, but I'm okay with $28 because it was fun to make nonetheless. And then the last item she wanted was actually for her granddaughter, and I do know that because her granddaughter is a ballerina, and she actually just performed in the Nutcracker. So it's very cute, and so I showed her a picture of Brie the ballerina mouse from Oak and Marlowe. She loved it, and so I got to make another Brie. And here she is. I don't know what her ear's doing. I used a darker pink for the bodysuit and feet details than I did on the first ballerina mouse I made. I think I used actually this lighter pink that I used for the tutu. I think I used that initially for the bodysuit. Yes, actually, and then I used, I think it's mauve, the mellow mauve, I think it's called, for the tutu on that first one I made. So I decided to do the inverse and do the darker color for the slippers and bodysuit, and then the lighter pink for the tutu. And then I just used whipped cream for the body, and I love her. She's adorable. And her ears are like doing a thing, but she's so cute. I absolutely love her. I'm selling her for, I think, $36. So at the shop I sell the Fable Friends for $38, but in person I do $36, and so yeah, I'm excited. So this is the cute little, let's see if I can get them all, custom order, and I'm excited to get this out. I loved making that order. I loved working with the customer. She was a very kind woman, so I enjoyed that. And then I received my following custom order actually the Friday before the week of Christmas. Someone reached out to me. They had purchased something on Etsy, and when it arrived, they realized that it did not match the picture of what they had purchased, and in fact looked like it was drop shipped from something like AliExpress or Temu. And they were obviously very disappointed that they had purchased something on Etsy that was false advertising. And I mean, obviously I completely felt awful for her that that had happened. She was hoping I could help her by doing a rush order. I did do a slight upcharge on the order because she wanted it within days. So I received the order on, I think it was Thursday or Friday, and I delivered it to her on the following Monday. So 3 to 4 days later. She requested a Rumi doll. She first asked if I still had the Rumi from the BK crochet pattern. Unfortunately, that had sold, as you saw in my last market vlog, but I was willing to make it again, or I sent her also an image of Robin Sweet Beans Crochet, her Rumi pattern, which is a shorter but stuffed version. So BK Crochet, that one is a snuggler version, so an unstuffed body. So I sent her an option with a stuffed body, and she did choose Robin's version. So I purchased that pattern, I made the Rumi, and because it was such a rush order, I literally finished it the night before on the Sunday night and met her on Monday morning. So I wasn't able to record a full talking clip about it, but I'm gonna go ahead and insert a short little clip that I got of just kind of showing her off. So those wrapped up my custom orders for the holiday season. I do have one custom order left that is for a laying down shiny Umbreon. It's the splooting version of the Umbreon from Shannon Snuggle Beans Crochet. And so I am excited to make that. I'm going to send the customer some yarn options to make sure they like the blue that I use for that shiny version of Umbreon, because I want it to be the best version. And I'm also waiting on some eyes from my bestie May, LushLuxLoops, which she has a series of the Pokemon eyes, and she has a pair that's perfect for a shiny Umbreon. So I'm going to wait for those before I can get started, but I am going to reach back out to that customer, let them know that I haven't forgotten about them. They were aware that it was going to be after the holidays, because this is a gift for themselves, not for anyone. So I'm excited to get started on that because I love making Pokemon. So I'm very excited to make that for my customer. But other than that, I am done with custom orders. I have a couple more things I'm working on finishing up for 2 Secret Santas that I'm part of, so I will show those off in a future video. I'm excited to finish those up and mail them out this week. And for now, I'm going to jump into the items that I made for my son as well as my husband for their Christmas gifts. So I'm going to start with the gifts I made for my kiddo. I made him 3 different things for Christmas, and then I have one item that I made him for his birthday. So his birthday is actually a few days after Christmas. So it is definitely a very wild time of year for me and for us as a family, but I am always excited to make things for my kiddo. I have an entire bin of Stitchkins, Aaron the Crochet Carpenter, as well as other patterns that I have made for him, and we keep them in a bin because the cats are obsessed with anything that I've made with yarn. So I just don't want to risk at night that they somehow tear apart the little items that I've made for him. So they go back in their bin at night. But the first item I want to show off was actually a pattern test that I did for one of my besties, Kelsey, Crochet with Kelsey. And it is a Patreon exclusive pattern. So please, if you're interested, I think it was only for December, so unfortunately you won't be able to get it because this video will go up in January, but I highly recommend joining Kelsey's Patreon nonetheless. She is an amazing designer. I honestly have so many of her patterns that are some of my top patterns that I've ever made, and that's another video that I'm hoping to do in the future to show off some of those. But for now, this one is Dominic the Donkey. So if you know the Christmas song, Dominic the Donkey, my son, he is, as of his birthday this week, 3 years old, and he is obsessed with the song Dominic the Donkey. He has asked us to play it a million times this Christmas season. So I had to make him one. As soon as I saw Kelsey designed one around Dominic, I knew that I had to make one for my kiddo. And so I am just so excited with how he came together. His little tail, his hat, this fur yarn is the fur yarn that I showed off in a video recently from Knotted Cat. It is just a dream to work with. I've only used it so far with details, but one of my goals for 2026 is a full yarn piece And if I love it, obviously more after that, but I want to at least challenge myself to do one. And I can tell that this is the yarn I will use because it is absolutely fantastic. The eyes for Dominic, let's see. The eyes are from Christine, What's Up Cupcake. So I showed those off in a recent video and I had to use them as soon as I saw. I'm obsessed with green eyes, so I knew they were the perfect ones to use for this gift for my son, and I love this one. I love Dominic. I love him. My son loved seeing him with his little Christmas hat on Christmas morning, and yeah, I absolutely love this pattern. Kelsey really has never let me down. I love every pattern she designs. She's absolutely fantastic, and Dominic was absolutely perfect for our Christmas morning. So that's the first item that I made for my son for Christmas. The next item comes with a little bit of a story, a short one, but my friend Little Lemon Stitches, Katie, came up with a whole series of leggy fruits and vegetables, and in the fall season, she came out with a pattern for a leggy pumpkin, and I loved it. My son was obsessed with it every time he saw it at the markets, and I almost just took it off the shelf and gave it to him at a recent market, and then it sold immediately after I had that idea that I was going to take it down and give it to him. And so instead, I made him his own because it sold. So this is a leggy pumpkin. I used the Bernat Mystical yarn. Oh, by the way, Dominic, his main yarn is the Premier Basics Chenille Braids. So that's everything except the fur yarn on Dominic. And I use a 6mm with that yarn. I also use a 6mm with Bernat. So this is Bernat Mystical for this leggy pumpkin by Little Lemon Stitches. But my son always, whenever he saw this at the market, would call it an octopus pumpkin, which made me laugh because of its legs. It doesn't have 8, but he's 3, so details are not important. But yeah, so I made him one of those because he was obsessed with it. And then I also made him his own little turtle. This is in Posh yarn. Honestly, just trying to use up Posh yarn. I have a lot of it and I'm not really a fan of it, but I like it for, makes for my son because this or Bernat or something like that that's a little more structured and doesn't have as much shedding is a lot better of a choice than like Sweet Snuggles Light or something for makes for him, because he's obviously a little rough on his toys at 3. So it's nice to use Posh for something like that for him. This is I was also testing out this pattern to see if I liked it for my markets next year. I typically don't love making turtles, but this was fun to make. It was from the free blog post pattern from the Friendly Red Fox for her. I think she calls it a sea turtle, baby sea turtle. It is a sea turtle, but I think that's what she calls it too. So it's very cute. He loved it. I had both of these guys in his stocking, so that was fun for him to pull those out. So those are the 3 things that I made for my son for Christmas. My son is waking from his nap, so as always, apologies for any background noise that may occur as I record these next few clips. But the next thing I want to show off is the item that I made for my husband for Christmas. And if any of you are gamers, you will probably recognize this character. This is Hornet from the Hollow Knight franchise. I am going to have to put the pattern designer up here on the screen because I do not remember, but it is from a free pattern on Instagram. And she has her little legs under there. So, oh, she also has arms. There's arms under here as well. But this cape, my husband was very impressed with how realistic it looks compared to what the character looks in the game, because she has this very flowy cape that she wears. So a little story with this. One of the very first things I ever made of amigurumi, as well as in general for my husband with crochet, other than a hat, was a Hollow Knight plushie. And I made it in acrylic yarn because I was still, like I said, it was one of the first things I made using a false bubbles. I'm pretty sure I'll again put it up here. I'll link it below, YouTube tutorial. And because I was a beginner, the YouTube tutorial was perfect for me. Instead of trying, I had the pattern, I think it was a free pattern on Ribbler as well. So I followed both to be able to do it. If I'm wrong, I'll include all the links below so that you can find it yourself. But I actually have that Hollow Knight up here. I asked him to bring it up. So this is the Hollow Knight I made. Again, it was from the first amigurumi pieces I ever made. And it is an acrylic yarn because I'm going to put Hornet down. I mean, obviously there's holes and stuff because my tension wasn't perfect, but for being one of the first things I ever made of amigurumi and in acrylic, which I've never really made anything in acrylic since, I'm pretty proud of how this turned out. I am hoping to look up this pattern designer that made Hornet. I think she has a Hollow Knight, so I'm hoping to make another Hollow Knight but in ZaddyCrafts, which is what Hornet is made from, so that they're in matching yarns and he can have them both in sort of my current style of using the more chenille yarn rather than acrylic, etc. But I'm honestly, like I said, I'm proud of him. And looking at the felt, I actually sewed it on. Oh, and apologies, there is dog fur all over it because it lives downstairs where our dogs are constantly shedding everywhere. So, but yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of it. I mean, like this was a flat worked piece for his cape, and it looks pretty good for being one of the first things I made. Like literally within months of learning to crochet, I made this. So not to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty proud of it. But nonetheless, I was excited when I saw this Hornet pattern so that I could make that as well. Sorry, my kid always comes in to see me after his nap, so I can't quite remember what I was saying, but I think it was just that I'm super proud of both of these makes, but I am looking forward to making a Hollow Knight in chenille so that my husband can have a matching one. I also want to get him some doll stands to help because she has like these little pencil thin legs. So I want to get a doll stand for her, and then I'll have one for whatever Hollow Knight I make. But still, I'm very proud of this as one of the first things that I ever made for him. So it was a nice tribute a couple years later to make him another character from that game series. So yeah, I'm trying to make sure that this isn't another super long video because I have a habit of making hour-long videos, but it might be. So I'm sorry if you don't like the long videos. Let me know in the comments below if you prefer, like what kind of length you prefer for your crochet videos. I personally like the hour-long videos because then I don't have to be constantly stopping my project to click to a new video, because if it's like a 15 to 30 minute video, it feels like I'm constantly searching for another one, which wastes time. So I like the longer ones, but if you don't, I would very much like to know so that I can plan my content around my audience. So let me know in the comments below what you prefer. But I'm going to do a rapid fire nonetheless showing of my recent ZaddyCrafts haul so that you can see that yarn. Again, it is my absolute favorite yarn. I have it back here on my shelves and it's my favorite. I always find myself pulling from it, and I actually ran out of one of the colors, which was the impetus for ordering more. And so I am glad that I have most of my main colors well stocked up now, but I'm sure I'll need another order sometime in the next few months as I start my market prepping for the 2026 season. But let's get into the haul. So one thing I want to say about ZaddyCrafts, which was started by my friend Zach in Australia, is that he started a membership program recently. So I'm just looking at this. Members get 15% off their first order when you join the membership program, and then you earn really good points when you spend that you can then spend on really good chenille yarn, or in the future hopefully he is expanding the line, so really good yarns that you can find on the ZaddyCrafts website. But I will link Zach's ZaddyCrafts website below so that you can get your own yarn. For those who haven't watched my past ZaddyCrafts Yarn Haul video, which was one of my earlier videos, I had it featured It is expensive to ship yarn from Australia to the US. It makes complete sense that it's expensive. It's coming from halfway around the world, and Zach and ZaddyCrafts is a small business, so they cannot afford to absorb the cost of $100 shipping prices for all of the American customers. So how I handle it for myself personally, because on top of the shipping right now, until things are resolved in the courts, the tariffs also are a factor. And so Zach did have to raise his prices per skein on the yarn for US customers to accommodate for the tariff that he also has to pay now to the US government. And so to combine the tariff and shipping cost definitely is a hefty price to pay, but I am just here to tell you that is truly one of the best yarns I have ever worked with. The colors are vibrant. I mean, oh, I have it right here, but like the Hornet that I just showed off, like this red cranberry, like dark red, is just so gorgeous. The pure white is stunning. The black, I've had so many issues with black yarn, especially in like chenilles and even the blanket yarn, where the black was just so hard and rough to work with. Never with ZaddyCrafts has the black been hard to work with. Now and then Zach will have some skeins that are rough, but he actually, when he finds out, will pull those from his stock and put them in his Misfits line, because he really cares about his customers and ensuring that the yarn that they are receiving is the best quality possible. He himself is obviously an amigurumi artist, and so he knows what we look for in yarn. He makes sure that it's no shed, it's soft, it's beautiful. I love ZaddyCrafts yarn. So if you've been watching my vlogs, one thing that I have been enjoying making lately are the shelf geese from Crochet Grove. I'll pop a picture and her handle up here just so that you can see it if you are somehow unaware of this very viral pattern, but I'm obsessed with it and I needed more white to make more. So I ordered 8 skeins of the white, which is called Basic, because it's one of the most basic colors. I also ordered 8 skeins of the color I was out of, which is the pink, which is the lighter pink called Sweet. And I use this a lot for axolotls and other kind of basic creatures that I take to markets, but it's also just such a beautiful pink color. I used it. All of mine was gone because I use it so frequently. So I ordered 8 of them so that I will be stocked up for a little bit longer of a period of time. I also ordered 5 of the darker yellow and 5 of the lighter yellow. So the darker yellow is called Playful, the lighter yellow is called Calm. And so I have 5 each of these. There's 5 of the Playful in here, 3 of the Calm, and the other 2 Calm are in this package, which also has 6 of the orange, which I love using for beaks and everything you need orange for. Charisma, so I ordered 6 of those. Actually, last time I ordered, Zach was out of Charisma, so I hadn't had stock of that. I have 2 left, but again, like for the shelf geese and anything else that has beaks, feet, etc., I use this orange. So I have now 6 more to stock up with those. And then I got a smattering of other things that I just needed to fill out my color selection on the shelves. I got 5 of this lighter brown Gentle, which I use a lot for like spiders and things. I got 1 of this gray Charming, 2 of the skin tone color Cheerful. I love this color. It's really a really nice color for skin tones, etc. I ordered 5 of this darker brown color, not the darkest brown, but the medium brown color that Zach has called Cuddly. Again, I use it a lot for my spiders that sell really well, the tarantula pattern from DD. I got 1 each of Honest and Witty, as well as 1 more of Whimsy. So that's that bag. And then the last bag, no, sorry, a couple more. The second one, the penultimate bag, is I received all of these reds. I got 5 of Passionate because I was planning on using it for this skirt, robe, etc. So I knew I would need to stock up more. I've also been loving using it for cherry keychains. So I needed more of those because I am planning to stock a lot more keychains of the premium keychains I make for the future. So I stocked up on that. And then I got 3 of Vibrant, which is the lighter red. And then last, but definitely not least, my absolute favorite black to use. And that is called, their black is called Mischief. And I got 4 more of those. I did have an okay stock of the black. I think I have like 4 or 5 left. So this should round me out to have about 8 or so, just like with the white. And that is my ZaddyCrafts order, nice and rapid fire, but I absolutely love Zach's yarn. I can't get enough of it. I do, like I said, accommodate the cost of the shipping and tariffs, etc., taxes, all of the things in the cost to make a product. So I plan for that. I am aware of what it costs to buy each of those skeins. I essentially add up the entire order, divide it by the number of skeins, and that's the cost per skein. And then you can figure it out from there for the cost per yardage, etc. One of my big goals for this upcoming year is to weigh my yarn more, to have a really detailed awareness of how much I use for each project and how much it costs to produce each piece in raw materials. Because right now I don't do a good job of being aware of that, and I'm probably undercharging for some items that are using things like premium yarn from Zach. So things like that, where just be aware of what things cost. And while it might be a little bit of a heart attack to look at the price with the shipping and the extra cost from the tariffs, when you factor it into the cost to make the pieces and what you sell it at, it feels a little better. So just price what you're worth, charge what you're worth, don't undersell yourself or undercut yourself. And people, the right person will always buy. That's what I've always found. So that's my little soapbox. I'm done with that, but I love Zach's yarn. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. I mentioned my friend Little Lemon Stitches earlier, and I wanted to show off really quickly something else that I participated in as a supporter throughout this last year of 2025, and that was an art project that Katie did with several artists. And each month, as part of that project, I received digital calendar artwork that I could use on my desktop, on my phone background. And it was just a really fun experience for just a couple dollars a month. And it was all going towards eventually producing this, which is the 2026 art calendar. You can see here everyone she collaborated with. So many amazing people. A couple of these are my friends, and I just love it. I love it. All of the art is lemon themed because it is Katie's brand is lemons, Little Lemon Stitches. And so I'll just show you this one, which is actually my friend Mariah's, but from one of my favorite shows, 30 Rock, a quote that says, "What a year, huh?" And then this guy says, "Lemon, it's February." Makes me laugh, but I love that all, like, you know, special days are represented on here. The call out for Black History Month and other months that happen throughout this calendar. I mean, I love that. I love that she Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Like, I love that she incorporated important celebrations on here. And so I just love this. I will be including it. I mean, Juneteenth is featured. And so I just love this. I love that she collaborated with so many artists. I love the art. This is Belly Crochet, yeah, I think she has an art name as well, but Belly Crochet, who has designed a lot of very cute patterns that have booties, so it was perfect. But yeah, I don't know if you can still purchase the calendar, but I'm excited to hang this up. I'm excited to write all of my markets and everything else in here, and just having it in my hands, seeing all of this beautiful art printed out, I just love it. So great job to all of the artists. Again, here they are. Let me make sure it focuses. Here are all the artists that were featured in this calendar, and little lemon stitches. Thank you, Katie. Okay, so now we're to the 2 eye-related hauls portions of this video, and then I think I am going to wrap it up. So let me show you the first thing, which is this amazing advent calendar by PosieCreates. Hopefully her sticker is in focus, but it's by PosieCreates. She's amazing. I love her. I have a hook also. Move this off screen. Look, knocking everything over. I have a hook also by her. That's Haku, if you know Spirited Away and the Soot Sprites. So I absolutely love this hook. You can purchase them on her Etsy shop. I will link her down below, but she made this hook and I love it. And I have been wanting to get safety eyes from her for some time. And so when I saw she had this advent calendar, I immediately wanted it and then forgot. And then I happened to be watching her stories and she only had like 3 left, and I quickly went and purchased it. I have opened a few of them just to see. Here's what they all look like inside. Oh, let me get the little bag out. Inside here, there are 12 pairs of eyes ranging from, I think it's 25 to 20 to 30. Yeah, 20, 25, and 30, I think. Or it might just be 25 and 30. I have to double check, but here is Taylor's card. And this side has the QR code. So feel free to scan that. And again, I will link her down below as well. And then she sent some super cute little stickers. I love stickers. So I love getting these. I kind of want to get one of those sticker books where you can reuse them, because the vinyl that they use in the sticker book is the same as what stickers come on. So you can use them, and so it's nice to have them kind of all displayed out. I don't think it would be too interesting. I don't know if it would be interesting to you all for me to open them and show them all off, but perhaps I will show you a couple pairs just so you can get an idea of what came in this box. And then I have one more thing to show you, one more eye-related order to show you. So let me open a couple of them to show you a variety of what Taylor sent in this box. So before I show any of them open, I just want to show you how she sent them. So she sent them each tied nicely with skinny chenille or some kind of skinny velvet yarn, and they each have, so this actually, the one I grabbed is actually the last day, but they each, after you take it off, have the number of the day that is featured. And I actually took the strings off of these ones so you can see this is number 1. What else did I grab? 10. So cute little stickers that she put on these to keep them sealed. And so I'll just go ahead and open these 3 and show them off. So these first ones are, well, day 12 actually are 35s, and so there may have been 1 pair of 35 in the box because it was the 12th day, so a little surprise. But they are, and another thing is that several of the ones that I had opened were white pupil as well, which is nice because I tend not to use the white pupil. I tend not to make for myself white pupils nor order them, so it's nice to kind of be forced to have them in my collection because I would like to use them for some things, including Pokemon. So these actually scream Sylveon a little bit. They don't look like Sylveon's eyes, but they're just like Sylveon's colors. So anyway, these are 35s. They were day 12, so I think they were probably to celebrate it being the last day of the calendar, but I love these. They're absolutely gorgeous. So apparently I grabbed a great variety because the next pair is a pair of, a little crooked, but a pair of 25s. Also, don't mind my band-aid. I gave myself a very nice paper cut on some cardboard opening something for my son today. So that's always fun. And then another pair of white people ones actually. And these ones are 30. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, let's try that again. Hopefully those are showing okay. They have so much shifting. They're really, really cool. I don't want to stay on this paper very well, but so that's just a little sampling of 3 of the 12 pairs of eyes that I received in this advent calendar. Absolutely love PosieCreates. I love all of these eyes. They're very good quality. And again, it's nice that they will force me to use white pupil. And I like that it's a variety of sizes. I literally, as the sampling, pulled out a 25, 30, and 35 pairs. So it's nice to have a good variety of sizes available as well in this advent calendar. And then the next thing that I want to show off is actually a little eye collection that my bestie May from LushLuxLoops will be releasing very soon. I am doing a little bit of a pre-test so that she can have the eyes in some of her makes, much like Britt does. I know I've talked before about pre-testing and creating makes with eyes from Britt's Nerdy Girl Crochet's upcoming drops. So May is now doing that as well. And so I am testing one of these eyes, and I will definitely show that make off that I create with it in a future video. And then I also purchased several pairs. So let me show you. Okay, so I don't have the names in front of me, but May did just announce them on her Instagram. So please go check them out there. But it is kind of a basics, chunky glitter vibes collection, which I love. I always love having some basic color collections without a lot of embellishments and details. So I love that she did this. This is the pair that I will be testing, as well as an extra pair that I purchased. I think she changed the name, so I can't remember if it's Glitzy Green or if it's a new name, but this beautiful green color. And then these two, a white, which I think is diamond, something diamond, and then like a peachy pink. And then a very classic pink and a beautiful powdery blue. So those are the 6 pairs that I received from May. Again, one of them I am testing, and so I will share that in an upcoming video. But yeah, keep an eye out. I forget which date I'll put the date here that she's dropping this collection. And as always, please join her Patreon if you love her eyes, because it allows you early access to her drops, and then essentially the price you're paying for the Patreon then goes back into giving you a free pair or money towards a free pair every month. So it's worth the cost to get that extra few hours. I think it's an hour before the general public, and it's insured every time that I'm able to get all of the eyes that I want, which is very nice. So highly recommend that you join May's Patreon as well. I just want to share one last thing. I did a recent little restock at the shop space. It was actually right before Christmas, but I didn't get to share these clips. I have a little after video of what the shelf space looked like, so you can, if you remember anything about what it looked like before in the last vlog where I shared clips of the shop space, I took over another shelf goose. I took over 3 of the little dragons that I make now. I had a couple left from my markets, and one of them actually sold in within a couple days. So dragons might do well there. I'm gonna keep experimenting. I took over a couple of restock items, and I am planning another restock soon, but I will go ahead and insert that kind of after clip. I didn't even get it before. We were doing some shopping for Christmas for others, supporting other small businesses to give Christmas gifts, which is absolutely what I wanted this year. And so I was a bit distracted. So I just got an after clip. So I'll just go ahead and pop that in here. All right, that is all for today's little video. If you liked this content, I do ask that you hit the subscribe button below and give this video a like. It really does help my channel grow and ensure that YouTube continues to push my content out to others like you. As always, I'd love if you would leave a comment below. I love interacting with you all and chatting about whatever you want to talk about in the comments below. I will have another video for you very soon, but until the next time, bye!